This week's weekly AstroTea, we are covering the full moon coming up, the halftime show with Kendrick Lamar, and why Saturn is creeping up to 18 degrees means that we're kind of taking a look at our past mistakes. Welcome back, beautiful people. Welcome to your weekly AstroTea show. I am Aylin Sky. I'm your go-to astrologer for astrology insights, numerology wisdom, and manifestation tools. I cut right through the noise and bring you the most important messages you need to know. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe and DM me your astrology questions for next week's episode over on my Instagram at astrosky_Aylin. You can also find me on TikTok, same exact handle, astrosky_Aylin. Let's get into it. It's a full moon week, and things are going to get emotional this week. The sun is in Aquarius. It is moving from 22 degrees through 28 degrees by the end of this week. And let me tell you, Aquarius energy is all about hot or cold. It's either you're all in or you're completely checked out, and there is no in between. I don't know about you, but if you know anybody who is an Aquarius in your life, oftentimes I find that if they're really passionate about something, they're all in. And then there is times where if there's something that they are not interested in, they absolutely are detached from it. That is the Aquarius frequency, which I love about Aquarius, is that it teaches us how to attach and how to detach from things. Now this week we are feeling restless. Why? Because there is this underlying current that I'm seeing with the astrology this week is that we want change. Mars is still retrograding, and so there is a part of us that is looking to take action by causing some change. The manifestation theme this week is decision making. This week we're feeling restless to make decisions because we want change. And we are going to be getting loud about it, first internally, and then I believe this full moon is kind of moving us to get loud about creating change externally. If you've been overthinking and overanalyzing, then this is going to be the week to detach from situations that really do not serve you anymore. I do want to highlight real quick what Mercury is doing this week. On Friday, Mercury moves into Pisces. We're bringing a much needed mental release into our space. We're finally surrendering to what's in our life. And the universe is supporting letting go this week because in order to welcome those juicy Jupiterian blessings, something's gotta give and something's gotta be taken off of our plate. I think the biggest thing to ask yourself this week is, what can you detach from? What's worth reattaching to? Oh, and of course, one of the things that might come up is if you are debating whether you want to cut your hair, whether you want to text your ex, whether you want to text that ex like friend that you had, right? Friendships might be also on the horizon with this Aquarius Leo axis with the sun and the moon. I think that if you do, choose wisely, because whatever it is that you do, you will definitely feel the reality of the situation by the end of this week, which brings me to the emotional themes of this week. Let's take a look at the moon and the moon's currency and how it's moving throughout the week. This week has sort of this coldness to it. There's also a sense of grief and boundaries written all over it, but also a weird sarcastic kind of humor, like you're laughing but also not really. That is sort of like the emotional currency that I see when I'm taking a look at the moon's transit. The moon shifts from Cancer into Virgo from the beginning until the end of the week. You may not even realize how deeply you feel about a situation until boom, the full moon in Leo hits you, and then suddenly your emotions are center stage. And that is why I'm seeing and predicting that this Leo full moon this week is going to come with a good dose of drama. Expect to see or hear about breakups, or you might be the person that is going through some kind of a breakup. You might also witness public call-outs, people quitting jobs, celebrity scandals. a shock factor moment that make kind of a headline, but weirdly, it'll all feel like, yeah, that all makes sense, you know? What's really interesting about this week is that the moon then shifts into Virgo. And anytime we have a moon in Virgo, we are always in this reality check zone. After the dust settles, we're waking up to the real consequences of choices that have been made. So all of this comes with a good dose of reflecting on our emotions, reflecting on the reality that we're looking at, the things that we're looking at. And I think that this brings me to where the nodes are going to be at this week, because as you know, in last week's episode, I covered that I'm also going to be tracking every single week where the nodes are going. So the North Node currently is in Pisces, the South Node in Virgo. And this week, the nodes are shifting from 28 degrees to 27 degrees. And what's happening with the nodes this week is that Neptune is sitting with the North Node. So this is going to be us viewing things through a new spiritual lens. Reflection is deep this week. Like if you're wanting to really sit back and you want to embrace reflection, like this week is going to be perfect for it. You might be having flashbacks about the past, questioning what's right for you right now because of what you're reflecting on from the past. And then what does that really mean for the future? And this is what kind of fuels this change that we're wanting as we head into this week. These are the emotions that are coming up. I want change. I want to do the right thing for my future. And meanwhile, Saturn is creeping up to the North Node and to Neptune being together at 18 degrees. Now, it's 10 degrees apart, but I thought that this was really a monumental moment because Saturn is reminding us that there is no more avoiding. It is inevitable. Whatever decision you've been putting off, it's time. It's sort of like rip the Band-Aid off, you know? It's time for you to do the thing that you don't want to do. Yeah, it's shitty. It's not going to feel good. It's going to come with this coldness to it, this harshness to it. And I think that this is sort of the change that we're moving into because we are needing to learn how to actually deal with change. And I think that that is what this North Node in Neptune with Saturn sandwiched in, creeping up to that, is really teaching us this week and waking us up to it. Okay, let's talk about the Super Bowl this week, you guys. Like, be honest, did you actually watch it? Like, I want to know if you guys really watched the Super Bowl, because I was only there really for the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. I'm a huge fan. I absolutely loved his performance. But let me tell you, when the crowd screamed A minor, I definitely lost my shit. Like, what? That moment is definitely going to go down in history. They're Not Like Us, that track, the Kendrick's diss track aimed at Drake, that is definitely a moment that is going to go down in history forever. But this halftime show is actually sort of like the stamp, right? Like the stamp of like that moment that he created. It's bigger than music. This is an absolute power move, and it was just an awesome thing to watch for me. I feel like I listened to that track, They're Not Like Us, a million times, and all I can say about it is that he absolutely brought the truth. That's what I feel intuitively. There's so much speculation always going on with so many celebrities, but I feel like he brought the truth. And honestly, have you been following this feud? Like, what are your thoughts on this whole entire Kendrick versus Drake situation? Drop a comment or DM me because I need to know where you're all standing with this whole situation. All right, friends, that's a wrap on this week's Astro Tea. Don't forget to sign up for my newsletter because every 500 downloads, I'm giving away a free reading, plus Soul Sky merch from my Angel Number collection. Want your astrology questions featured next week? DM me on Instagram at Astro Sky Island. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. And until next time, trust the stars and manifest wisely.